Good morning, world. Some people call me poet, some people call me prophet. And good morning, church. And some people call me preacher. My presentation name is not for sale. Because the gift God gave me, you really cannot put no price on it. Take all those names back up and throw them away because they don't mean anything. The only name I want you to remember when I'm standing up on this platform is Jesus. And that's the name you're going to remember before I leave. Now, what I want to share this morning, because I have a minister in my building, and this gentleman, right, he's been standing behind me for a lot of years, and it's about like us helping each other. And let me just tell you a small story before I get started. Now, my protege, Peter, who guards the gates of heaven, a man had passed away and died. So, man, when the man died, he got to the gates of heaven. And when Peter opened up the gate, he opened the door. I'm sorry, y'all. He had opened the door. He seen this long table going all the way, and it seemed like it went forever. Now, on the left-hand side, he seen these people, they had all cork heads, and they was arguing and fighting and screaming at each other. And on the right side, the people was, having joy and peace and talking to each other and everything. And the man told Peter, he said, listen, he said, what is going on here? He said, they're all sitting at the same table. He said, but why are the ones on the left angry and the ones on the right living in peace? And you know what Peter told him? He said, see, God had gave them all long spoons. But so the spoon, when they was reach out to get the food on the table, the food would fall off and it'll go on to nothingness. He said, but the people on the right side was feeding each other. I say that to say all like this, man. No man's an island unto himself. If you come into relationships and with people and think you just want to take and not give, you're going to be one of the most miserable people on this planet. That's part of God's peace. Because like me, myself, I'm like an octopus. I know people in high places all over. I've been on this planet 60 years. And so, I know people I can call with a drop of dime, but my integrity in me won't allow me to, the scripture tells you, says, it's more honorable to give than receive. And I try to walk in that, and like I told you before, the baby teaching is that you're going to receive something from God. No, the reason why it's more honorable to give than receive, because by the time you go through what the receiver's got to do to get what you want, and people take your name and drag it through the mud and tell everybody what they did, you'd rather be the giver than the receiver. So God is saying, stay on the giving end. And he says he will have a life and a life more abundant. I'm not against anybody. Like a lot of people say that a man of God should handle. No. People are waiting for a heaven on the earth. You can have your heaven on earth right here. And people wait for hell. You got some people who are literally living in a spiritual hell because they can have all the money in the world, all big car, but you go into their actual life, them people are in misery and pain. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I did it. And so I'm bringing the lessons back to y'all so you don't have to live in that manner. Now, let me share a piece of testimony with you. I was waiting on this. I had been clean, right? Because I had many falls in my life. I've been stumbling towards God. So these people talking about they quit all in one day, I don't know about none of that. That's not my story, and I'm not going to come up on this platform and tell that lie. God, it took him over time to fix me. And a lot of times, I did it wrong. He knocked it back down and said, start all over. But anyways, I had about 6 months clean, right? And so while I was waiting on, I had my mind, I was bogged down with a lot of problems, so I wanted to go use. And so I walked up on it. I had called one of my the people that was supplying me drugs, and I had called him. I told him, I said, so he had me waiting there for about an hour. Now, there was a particular drug dealer that was on the corner, and the guy told me like this. He said, I tell you what I'll do. You ain't got to wait for him. right? Now, I'm going to show you how merciful God is. He said, you ain't got to wait for me. He said, I tell you what. He said, I'll give you these three packages, and you can pay me double on Friday. So while I was sitting there contemplating that thought, I looked over in the curb. I was suffering from a cigarette habit. I looked over in the curb, didn't have no cigarettes or nothing. And I looked and I seen a pack of Marlboro. I didn't even smoke Marlboros. I smoked Newport. And I seen that Marlboro pack. I opened that pack. And I took one puff off that cigarette. And you know what happened? Satisfaction came over my heart. And you know what I did? I forgot the whole thought and turned around and walked home. See, other words, God knew, right, that in my situation I was in, see, he allowed me to have that because he knew that if I'd have took them drugs, it would have took me 20 steps backwards. So it's just like King Solomon. You get in scripture, he's sitting up with 700 wives and 400 concubines. God didn't allow it, but he allowed him that until he found a better way. So people can, and ain't we glad that our mercy is not at the hands of our brother? Because a lot of us, man, have been dead and gone already. So I want to thank God for his mercy, and I want to thank God for teaching me the lessons. I want to thank God for giving me the position to come up here and bring this to you. Another thing I want to talk about, like a lot of people, like when I tell you about my landscaping service, that's not where I'm going to stay at the rest of my life. It's just like, when you go and you see a lot of the rappers, now you see them on TV programs. I'm not designed to stay in that same place, but don't try to run me down asking me when am I going to cut a yard. I don't mind helping nobody, but that's not my main objective. My main objective now is to get this ministry up off the ground. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm doing it with God and myself. No one's standing even to support. Well, I have supporters that support me in different areas, but this here ministry, this is hella high water. You understand? I'm going to do God's will, okay? And I'm not going to be, listen, I got like 3 coats of armor, you're not going to topple me because I take stumbling blocks as challenges, you understand? And God has given me the power to see my way through certain things. But if nobody told y'all they love you today, I want you to understand that by what I truly come and present to you, I hope you know that I do. So let it be written, so let it be done.